Whether you're a real estate broker, realtor, homeowner, buyer, or seller, everything matters when it comes to real estate. This is Real Estate Matters with Stewart Title. Stewart Title's Bill Napick and guests open the door to what really matters in owning, buying, and selling real estate. And now, Real Estate Matters with Stewart Title, brought to you by Stewart Insurance. Here to inform, entertain, and inspire, Bill Napick.
Here we go. Real Estate Matters with Stewart Title. That's right. I am your host, Bill Napick. So glad to be here once again. 950 KPRC, our second time, but well over 300 shows for Real Estate Matters with Stewart Title. We are so excited to be here. Let's get started right away. We have a super cast lined up. And first, we're going to talk about money. We have Bill Dolly. He is the Executive VP and Division Production Manager of Amegy Bank, helping people not just here in Houston, but well beyond. Bill, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. It's nice to be here. Thanks for the invite.
And I want to add also, you are a former professional baseball player. That's super awesome.
Yes, I'm very blessed. I've had two very successful careers, and I've been doing the mortgage side of it for almost 30 years. It'll be on June 1st, will be 30 years coming up.
That's unbelievable. Well, let's first talk about money in Amegy Bank. Let's tell people what you do there.
All right. Well, I'm in charge of mortgage production. So, it's, Amegy, if you don't know the story, is a great story. So Walter Johnson, in 1990, if you remember, Bill, you were telling me that you moved back down here from the Pittsburgh area, Pennsylvania area, to come here. Banking business, savings and loans were going through turmoil in the South, in particular in Texas. So Walter Johnson, in 1990, said that Texas, Houston in particular, needs to have a financial institution that can be able to be a good-sized bank, and but also have the community feel. So he and 134 other investors raised $50 million, opened up with one branch, 20 employees, $50 million worth of assets, and today we have over 1,600 employees, 75 locations, and we're about $13 billion in assets.
It's incredible, isn't it?
Yes, very, very. And Walter is in his early 80s, and he works every day. So he sets the tone, and he actually was a big part, probably the biggest part of building our new building over here across the street, 1717 West Loop South.
And the first thing I think of when you said he works every day, I'm going to guess he loves what he does. And I heard it said many times, and that is, it's not work unless you'd rather be doing something else. I know if I could keep doing this, I'm going to keep on going.
Without a doubt. He's every customer he runs into, I could sit here for 2 hours and tell you some stories that he has shared and others have shared about Walter. So everyone is a potential customer, and he looks at it that way.
And let's tell people some of the distinctions about Amegy. There's so many choices, certainly title companies, real estate professionals, but as far as Amegy goes, you have a unique position with the company, and you get to see real estate not just here in Houston, but also in the Southwest.
Well, the bank side of it, we're very proud. We're a bank that does very well with family businesses. Think about it. If it's a family business, you have a lot of family members in the business itself, and it's a different dynamic. And so the business banking, and we're very proud of this. We every year we give back to the community over $1 million to local charities. And our employees do a very, very good job of going in there and actually not just providing money, but dedicating their time. And we're the largest financial institution in Houston for donating money to the United Way. Very proud of that.
And as far as, let's a two-part question. The market outlook, everyone wants to know that this time of year. Let's tell people, from your perspective, the market outlook here in Houston, but also in the western states that you serve.
Yeah, my title is in the mortgage side of it. And so we've had some unbelievable years in Texas, and I'm also, as you mentioned earlier, in Arizona. The Southwest, the Sun Belt states have really come back. With the exception of Texas, the Californias and Nevadas, the Arizonas, the Floridas really took a hard hit around 2007, 2008 with the housing crisis. Texas, we did not take that big of a hit. And the biggest reason, if you want to look at real estate, and I know we have some other real estate professionals coming in after my conversation here, but to have a natural appreciation of 5, 6, 7% a year, that is fantastic. When you start jumping up to double digits, typically what goes up fast comes down fast. And Texas has done a very good job of having really good appreciation values that we can sustain those over a period of time.
And let's say out in the Southwest, how's it looking there? And that's Arizona, right?
Yeah, Arizona. Matter of fact, I'll be flying out there tomorrow. Arizona's doing well. It came back. It took a hit in 2007, 2008. Their values were well into the double digits. And again, probably 08, 09, they probably lost 20, 30% of their equity. But it's come back big time. It's doing well.
As I mentioned, you have been a professional baseball player. No one else in this room at least can say that. But let's tell people some of the teams that you've played with. You've been with the Astros, but let's tell people some of the other teams. Also, how is that like as far as the business world? What are the skills that you learned there and that you now use today?
Great. I'd love to talk about it. I'm very blessed. I was drafted by the Cincinnati Reds when I was 18 years old. So my first plane ride was to Billings, Montana. Rookie ball at 18 years old. Was on my own, making some money. Not a lot of money, but I was get to play baseball and got to be paid for it. So I was with the Big Red Machine, Cincinnati Reds. Got traded to the Houston Astros in 1983. Played here 3 years. Chicago White Sox for a year. Was in the World Series in 1987 with the St. Louis Cardinals. 88, I was with the Philadelphia Phillies. 89, Oakland and Milwaukee. So I got to pitch in an All-Star game and in the World Series. And so 14 and a half years professionally, a little over 6 years in the major leagues, and now I'm on to this. So to answer your question, though, Bill, there is a lot of alikes, if you will, between professional sports and the mortgage business and banking business. Competition, I love competition. Discipline, learned some things really early in my life about disciplines that carries over into the professional realm of the mortgage business. And then numbers.
Statistics.
I would always tell people that I could tell everybody what my ERA was by giving up a run while I was still pitching on the mound. And today in the mortgage business, it's all about results. How many loan applications are you taking? How many loans are you closing? And so I don't need to follow the 35 loan officers that we have in Texas. And I will tell you, we have 25 loan officers in Houston, and they're the best of the best. I've already talked to a few people today, gave my cards out. I would love to have the opportunity for them to shine because I'm very confident of their abilities.
When we started mentioning your career, I heard the crack of the bat, as I know many listeners did, far and wide. Baseball is such a tremendous sport. You had the opportunity to do that as a living. Like you said, you made some money, you learned business lessons. Let's go back, though, to the pressure. I mean, real estate professionals in the mortgage, certainly realtors all around, they're under pressure. They get paid on what they do, on strictly performance, much like Major League Sports.
Yeah, without a doubt.
About 60.
Too, Bill, is most of my career I was I was always a relief pitcher, but most of my career I was at the stopper, the last reliever in the game, and I thrived over pitching in front of 60,000 fans in a visiting ballpark, say Dodger Stadium. You know, a couple runners on base, trying to get that hitter out. Because when I walked off that mound being successful, I just made about 60,000 people unhappy. That was a thrill for me. But of course, if it was at home, I'd want them to go home happy. But I thrived off that competition.
Bill, let's tell people how they can reach out to you and your company right here in Houston or anywhere else.
Well, if they want to go online to AmegeeBank.com, we have a great website. If they want to reach out to me personally, it's my name, bill.dawley@AmegeeBank.com. And I'll definitely will try to help you out on whatever service levels you need.
He is Bill Dawley. Check him out at AmegeeBank.com. Thank you, Bill. And he'll be back later in the show. We're going to come right back with more guests and so much more on this show, Real Estate Matters with Stewart Title.
When it comes to real estate, everything matters. Whether you're a broker, realtor, homeowner, buyer, or seller, for informative and entertaining information when it comes to owning, buying, and selling real estate, tune in Sundays at 5 p.m. to Real Estate Matters with Stewart Title, brought to you by Stewart Insurance.
Welcome back, Real Estate Matters with Stewart Title. I am Bill Napick, your host, as we continue this amazing adventure. She is a top producing real estate professional. I want to say in the top 20. I think she was number 15 in terms of dollar production. Her name is Kiani Komezi. My friend, she is with MDK Realty. Kiani, welcome to the show.
Hi, how are you?
It is amazing, huh?
Thanks for having me.
Well, good to see you again. And let's tell people, first of all, I mentioned top production. I mean, it is not easy for any of us to have production, but we thrive on competition. I think all of us in this room. But let's tell people about your production level here. I mentioned number 15.
Yes.
Let's hit that.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I'm a top producer in Houston and chosen by HAR and number 8 by on Living Social Media. They have a rating on that too.
And let me tell you, I'll tell people right now, Kiani was on the show, I don't know how long ago, about a year ago, maybe not that long, but as people know, I post the segments of each individual that's on this show and past shows. I put it on Facebook. As far as your social media chops, your segment got, I think it's on the way to over 2,000 views in that 10-minute segment. That's amazing. How do you do it?
Seriously, I just have a great family, friends, and good clients. And to be honest with you, I really believe that they see that I care about them and they keep referring and they know like I educate them so they keep following.
Well, and that's one of the things we talk about to realtors about all the time, and that's using social media. What's the right vehicles to use? What shouldn't we use? Because I would think it's hard to be an expert in everything. But give us a word on social media, Kiani. And Facebook, you're getting a lot of results there. But let's tell people some of the psychology a little bit more about that, how you're doing it.
I don't know if I'm an expert, but what's been working for me is that, again, I'm being very professional. I don't post, I don't know, those kind of pictures.
Pictures of your food. I'm like you. I don't post my food or where I'm at. I post business stuff. What's going on the real estate
and I make
show.
it fun. And again, I make sure I educate them. So again, if my clients get educated, it's going to be easier on me. They know what are they doing as well.
That's right. Also, MDK is the name of your company. Let's tell people some of the things about your company and perhaps company distinctions.
This MDK, it's very boutique brokerage, which I don't think I'm going to last that long there because, as I told you earlier, that I'm going to open my own brokerage.
You're going to be a broker, that's right,
yes.
in just a few weeks.
I
forgot,
Yeah, a few weeks. And I love my broker, but again, I'm trying to continue different paths so I can have agents under me. And what it's been helping me individually is, again, I mentioned it before, it's that I have an architectural background. And
Oh, yes.
Yeah, so when we go to the houses, they know that if I say, you can remove this wall, you can do this, and I do have that vision, what can they do? Or I have so many investors that they come to me like, what color should I use? What is the trend right now? So I can help them out on that part as well.
Extra value. And that's what people are looking for when they enlist the help of a real estate professional to buy or sell their property. Speaking of trends, as you look at the market, here we are early in 2020, a clear vision. Mm-hmm. So as you look ahead, what are you seeing out there as far as the marketplace for buyers and sellers and how it's going to be for you this year?
I'm sure I can sell more this year. 2020 is rocking already. And if you know, the single family sales rose 4.8%, over $86,000 in Houston. And if economies is healthy as what we've seen so far, it's just going up and up and up. So I'm sure I can do more. All the agents can do more.
And let's tell people as far as the way you approach your profession. Some people do it by geography. They're experts in one part of town or one neighborhood. But how do you look at the market?
I'm so against that, Bill, because I really believe you cannot say I'm buyer's agent, I'm seller's agent. I just do lease. I don't do lease. I don't do commercial. Do you know what I mean? I really think everyone should know everything and they should do everything. And that's my kind of thing as well.
That is great. So let's tell people, as far as, let's say someone is in the Galleria or the Uptown area, but an area I know and love, and I know you do too. But let's say someone's in Uptown and they want to list their home. How are you coaching that seller?
Uptown is booming. It's hot. It's an area that you want to be, just because not just because I'm in, but so you can literally go to MLS and start looking. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
But you want an agent to tell you what is close by, what's going to happen in a few years to your property. Is it going to grow, or you're just going to sit on the same price for a few years?
Especially if you're serving someone that may not live here now, or they're arriving from another city or another state or even another country. Do you work with buyers that are not in Houston, or how often do you work
Actually,
with those?
way often, to be honest with you. Again, just because I'm Persian, there are so many Persians that they want to bring money from back home. And as you know, it's not a good economy back there, but they have the money. They don't want to invest in that country anymore. So they're like, what should we do? And believe it or not, they stopped me, even though like a couple of nights ago I was at the Persian restaurant. They're like, what should we do with my money? Like, I have this much money. What do you recommend? I'm like, sure, I can help you out. So of course I do have out of country and out of states.
That is,
clients.
well, that's very interesting. And of course, Houston, as far as real estate investing, whether you're from Persia or anywhere else, it's pretty much overall a good thing as long as you check the boxes and make sure your investment numbers are right. And
Exactly. And what I do is that I make sure my investors make money, and that's how I get referrals. They see my investors make enough money, and they keep referring people.
I'm remembering a quote from Zig Ziglar, and he says something, I might be paraphrasing, and that is, if you help enough people get to where they want to be, you'll get to where you want to be.
Exactly.
And that's working for Kiani
yes,
Kamezi.
Yes.
Indeed,
yeah.
it is. Let's tell people. Also, you talk about your architectural background. How did you get into real estate to begin with, Kiani?
Oh my God, this is crazy. I've been working as an architect for 8 years, Bill, and then one day I got laid off. And I cried for 24 hours. I didn't know I can cry that much.
I don't know anyone can cry. You
I
didn't
know.
sleep that day. Just continuous crying.
Continue crying. Seriously, because I was working as an architect, and I was teaching architectural course, and I got laid off on both of them. I mean, the school got bankrupt. I didn't get laid off. The school got bankrupt, and so
but you had to find a new job.
I had to. And my husband is the one that recommended me. Like, you are good at the market, you know business, and you know architectural. Like, go get this license. I'm like, sure, why not? So I got it. And 6 months after that, the architectural firm called me, can you come back? I'm like, heck no, I'm not coming back.
It's like, not what I have going now, right? And thanks for laying me off.
Laying me off, yeah.
That is incredible. But it goes back to the idea. Opportunities are out there for all of us, and especially, certainly everywhere. But in Houston, Texas, it is amazing. Then, and I say then, 1 year ago, 5 years ago, 20, and now the opportunities that are going to unfold, not just in 2020, but in this decade, it's going to be incredible. As long as we're prepared.
I agree.
We have to be prepared to be successful in life or whatever our career is.
I agree. And one thing that I would like to add, Bill, as an architect, please let go of these gray floors and light gray walls.
Well, I
we
thought
are
everything's
so
supposed
over
to be gray. I am. Well, that's a news flash. We will call that breaking news, Kiani, because everywhere I turn, it's gray. They're saying more gray, but maybe not.
Not anymore. 2020 is going to be all like luxury countryside, more neutral colors, open concept, and for sure we have to make sure it's feng shui. But what is really hot in 2020, it's eco-friendly, being eco-friendly. It can be as inexpensive as adding nest to your house, or as inexpensive as solar panel. Do you know what I mean?
There you go.
Nowadays, people want to eco-friendly, or they are going greens. So invest in that kind of.
And let's tell people how they can reach out to you.
KianiRealEstate.com, or on Instagram, Kiani Real Estate, or Facebook, Kiani Kamezi.
Kiani. She is amazing. Kamezi, right?
You got
that
it.
That could be a new tag. Kiani Kamezi. Thank you for being on the show.
Thank you.
She'll be back later. You're listening to Real Estate Matters with Stewart Title. That's right. We're coming right back with so much more. Thanks for listening.
In today's litigious society, it is imperative to have the proper insurance to offset the many risks facing your business, especially if you're a real estate broker. Your errors and omissions and cyber liability insurance can help limit the threat of these risks if you know what to look for. Not sure if your insurance addresses the risks facing your business? Contact Stewart Insurance to be confident your brokerage can withstand these risks. Stewart Insurance, 866-798-2827. StewartInsurance.com. That's StewartInsurance.com or call 866-798-2827.
Here we go. Real Estate Matters with Stewart Title continues, and now our guest is Blake Plaster. He is with Martha Turner, Sotheby's International Realty. Blake, welcome to the show.
Thanks so much, Bill. Thrilled to be here.
I think the last name Plaster is an excellent advantage for you because when you introduce yourself, if they don't already know you, they're going to remember, right, Blake?
I always say, like, plaster on the wall.
That's right. Now they'll never forget. In fact, listeners far and wide are remembering that right now as we speak. Martha Turner, Sotheby's International Realty. Let's tell people about your company in case they're listening from far away and they don't know about Martha Turner's.
Yeah, Bill, Martha Turner, Sotheby's International Realty is a very special company that was founded by Martha Turner herself in 1981. And then in 2014, she sold the company to Sotheby's International Realty. We then became Martha Turner Sotheby's International Realty, and we are a great company throughout Houston, both in the suburbs and the metropolitan areas.
And in fact, I'll tell people they don't know, you're in the same building, the Amagi Bank building, as Bill Dolly is in periodically.
That is correct. And
it's a beautiful building, too.
Yeah, I haven't seen Bill until today, but the building is a dream to work inside. The views are second to none. And we've only been in there for 5 months, so our office space is brand new.
It really is beautiful. I love going there. And if you invite me, I'll be back again. Blake, let's tell people your company has certain distinctions. Let's tell them about some of those distinctions.
Absolutely, Bill. I'm thrilled with the timing of the show because Martha Turner Sotheby's International Realty just announced a brand new program at our sales meeting a few weeks ago. It's called White Glove. And it is our home preparation service that is geared towards making the home selling or buying process seamless. And the services include staging, landscaping, painting, packing and moving, and additional services as well, like temporary housing, which allows us, the agent, to get the home prepped with no upfront cost to the homeowner and maximize their home's value.
Well, that sounds awesome. And, of course, the other thing that comes to mind as you describe that is curb appeal. In the Wall Street Journal, they just had an article about that last Friday in the mansion section, which is super awesome, by the way. But let's tell people, okay, so I have a home, and with this feature that you have, how does that work? I say, hey, Blake, I want to go ahead and list my home with you, and there's a price. We have a price, whatever that is. Then how does this service engage and kick in?
Sure, absolutely. Well, so we always look at the home well in advance of it going on the market. And some homes, it's very easy to get them on the market. Maybe they just need staging or really nothing. I've had that happen before. But sometimes we have homes that are old and tired. They could use painting. They could use new flooring, new landscaping, a refresh to maximize that home's value. So if we see a home like that, and even just a home that needs staging, we always recommend White Glove so that we can put the client in touch with a design consultant, and in addition to working with us, the agent, to get the right touches to get the home on the market and then maximize its value.
So, and I'm thinking right now, as I mentioned, my home as just an example, I do need some landscaping, Blake. So then what would happen? You say, okay, we can bring in this kind of effects for the landscaping, and then that all of a sudden there goes my curb appeal up another notch, right?
Absolutely. Yes, we would put you in touch with a White Glove design consultant and our vendors that are through White Glove, and then they would make sure that your yard is in tip-top shape.
Well, somebody needs to do that. I mean, that sounds great. So, Blake, also one of the distinctions you started to tell me, we're here at 950 iHeartRadio, which is the home of many radio stations. In fact, you too have been, prior to today, you have been in this station before. Let's tell people a little bit about that.
Yes, so I love sports. I am a diehard Houston sports fan, and in college I interned for the Houston Rockets and worked out of this building. So being back here, this very building, being back here brings back so many fond memories of that time.
That must have been fun. How many years ago was that?
That was 5 years ago. So I haven't been out of school very long.
You're very young looking, too. Also, you have that youthful, like Dick Clark. You may not remember Dick Clark.
I do know Dick Clark.
I mean, that's many generations ago, but that guy looked young until the day, right? Yeah, unbelievable.
That's right.
As you look ahead 2020 with clear 2020 vision, how do you see the year playing out? And what is your company coaching and telling all your associates there at these meetings?
Sure. Well, we are thrilled, Bill. We are noticing our listings are getting so many showings. And me personally, I call it the craziest January ever. It's my 5th January in this business, but I have never been so busy. Just this past Saturday, I showed 3 different buyers. And I couldn't believe it. I mean, I worked from 9 to 9 practically, and it's January. So I can't imagine what the spring months are going to bring.
It is going to be amazing. That is very exciting. So let's tell people, what are some of the other how did you get into real estate? I mean, it sounded like you were interested in sports. You could have taken a track there or maybe even in broadcasting. But
correct.
But how'd you get into
My degree is in broadcasting, and I absolutely love radio and television. But growing up in the Memorial area always drew me to the real estate. Incredible homes, incredible lots, great schools, great shopping. I was so drawn to that area. My parents also always saw real estate as a great investment opportunity. So I grew up with knowing a lot about real estate. I joke that it's in my blood, but it probably is. So as soon as I graduated from college, I considered radio or real estate, and I just was so eager to begin real estate as soon as possible so that I could build up the career very quickly. And I'm so glad I did because it's turned out to be the right decision.
Well, what's interesting, as you describe, and as many agents do, you're describing the real estate world. And in a way, if someone just tuned in, they might think that it's an easy profession, as we think that is. Sometimes we think that when we watch a TV show where people are flipping homes or they're buying homes and things like that. A lot of people look at those shows and even broadcasts and say, wow, I can do that. But it's not as easy as a true professional makes it seem. Let's tell people about some of the challenges, and or more so, how do you handle challenges when you face them in real estate? Because there are many.
Yeah,
can be.
No, Bill, I am happy to talk about that. The real estate industry has about a 13% success rate. So you can imagine the odds are not for you. But I wanted to succeed so badly that I would work every single weekend, holding open houses, taking floor time, working relocation, working leases, everything I could to build up my client base as quickly as possible. And I was very young. I was fresh out of, well, I still am very young, but I was even younger than I am now. I was fresh out of college. It was very difficult for people to take me seriously, especially people with the upper echelon price points. So I just worked with anyone who would give me a chance to build a track record. And now I feel so blessed because I'm starting to get the opportunities that I always dreamed of.
Another thing comes to mind when we are underestimated by people. Sometimes the person that we underestimate below the surface or wherever is working extra hard, like you're describing yourself. And in many cases, I know I've done this myself. It helps to be underestimated because then you could really show them what you have.
Oh, completely agree. I mean, I always feel like I have a fire burning inside me to succeed as much as I can. Being as young as I am and in the competitive market that I'm in, it really takes that to make it.
That's right. It is kind of a competitive market here in Houston. You think? Just even in any of our respective offices that we work. Let's tell people, Blake, how can people reach out to you?
Sure, absolutely. Well, my cell is 713-297-1256. I also have a really cool website through Sotheby's. It's blakeplasterproperties.com. And then my email is blake.plaster@sotheby'shomes.com.
And you said the word plaster there a couple times. They're not forgetting, are they, Blake?
They're not.
I bet people call and say, hey, you're Blake Plaster, right?
That's what they do.
And the number again is?
713-297-1256.
He is Blake Plaster. We're coming right back with even more on Real Estate Matters with Stewart Title. Thank you for listening. So much more is ahead.
If you're a real estate professional, then listen closely. Cyber criminals are targeting our industry. They are impersonating real estate professionals, homebuyers, sellers, and title agents. Their goal is to gain access to your inboxes, computers, and clients so they can steal information and funds. Does your business insurance offset these risks? Not sure? Contact Stewart Insurance to determine if your business is properly insured. Visit stewartinsurance.com or call 866-798-2827. Visit stewartinsurance.com or call 866-798-2827.
Here we go. Real Estate Matters with Stewart Title. Once again, another tremendous guest, and he is here. You may know him as Bill Baldwin. You may also know him as Mr. Heights Boulevard Realty. He is the broker owner of Boulevard Realty. Bill Baldwin.
Thanks, Bill. I'm really grateful for being here.
It is awesome to see you once again, Bill. We've had many adventures together, not just here in the radio stations, but also you've done a lot of work with Stewart Title, helping us out, presentations and all those things.
It's all about people. Relationships really do matter. And the more that you can get out into our community and bond with other real estate agents, mortgage companies, title companies, the more successful you can be in our industry.
It is a fun industry. Let's tell people some of the things that you're thinking about today, Bill. I called you Mr. Heights. The Heights is a tremendous area in Houston. People know about it far and wide.
It's our undiscovered gem that everyone has discovered now. Remember 25 years ago,
they sure have.
Many firms, including the Martha Turners and the Greenwood Kings, wouldn't even take a listing in the Heights. They considered it to be too dangerous for their agents in the late 90s. They wouldn't cross over I-10. I try and remind people they love our area today, but they weren't there in the beginning when it took some amount of patience and understanding to see what's behind some of those bars and chain link fences. And it really is an amazing area that people have discovered, but it's always been amazing. It was amazing in 1900, it was amazing in 1975, and it was amazing in 1999 also. But it is certainly a hot area in town, and we're glad that we have new amenities for people that are there and that people are going to move in the future.
Desirable with a capital D, right?
Location, location, location. It's really the last bastion of that style of architecture. That sort of craftsman, comfortable home used to be built all over Memorial, Westview. Today, you only build that type of house really in the Heights anymore. Bel Air doesn't build that construction. Westview doesn't build it. Memorial doesn't. So it's a little bit smaller house. It's not a mega mansion for the most part or whatever, but there's a sense of comfort and quality and community about those types of homes and neighborhoods. We used to have this saying, people love porches, and it's about being on the porch, interacting with your neighbors. In the suburbs, you're in your backyard grilling. In the Heights, you're in the front yard drinking wine with your neighbor. And it really is a sense of community where people walk. They walk their dogs, their children. They're out biking. They're out walking. They're out strolling. And that's really created this sense of community and vibe that people really do enjoy in their very stressful lives these days.
It really is a tremendous vibe. And people here in Houston know about the Heights. But, Bill, if there's anyone that could give someone a bullet point that might be listening, I don't know, they might be in Connecticut right now and they've never seen the Heights. They may have heard about it, but paint a picture of the Heights in a couple of words.
The Heights itself is really 7 minutes from downtown Houston, and it's called the Heights because it's 21 feet higher than downtown. And after a yellow fever epidemic in the late 1800s, the Heights was developed by New Yorkers as its own city. It was the city of Houston Heights, and we had our own mayors and aldermen and city hall and jail, and we were annexed into the city in 1918. But it's higher living because it was healthier living than the turn of the century. And it's just a craftsman bungalow type of neighborhood that really is intact. It's a gridded street system because, like I say, it was its own city and its own sense of identity. And it's really just its proximity to so many things. It's easy access up north to ExxonMobil and Intercontinental. It's easy access to downtown. It's easy access to I-10 if you're going to the Audi school. And so it's just really this hidden jewel in between what is I-10 and I-45 there that you just have to get off the beaten path to come see for yourself.
It has a tremendous sense of community as well. And I think people, other than have it being close to things and the front porch and all that, people like that little community idea, and so many new stores and places are restaurants. Yeah.
20 years ago, my typical client was a young lawyer, 26, 27-year-old, kind of this urban pioneer. Today, those people are competing with their parents who are moving back from Memorial or Kingwood or Katy, and they want to be closer into the things in the inner city. They want to be closer to their grandchildren. They don't play golf anymore. They don't belong to the country club. They never use their media room. They're willing to sacrifice some of that size for quality. And I think that's really what you get in that type of environment. It's just a good quality of life.
You are like the Heights ambassador, and as well you should be. You have a business there. You live there, right?
I do. Yeah. I mean, I'm known as the King of the Heights. The Chronicle often says that kings often get beheaded, so you want to be a little careful
with that, yes.
about that sort of thing. But it's because we've worked hard as a neighborhood. We're very organized. The Heights Association, which I've had the honor of being the longest-serving living person on the board of directors. I've been president 3 times. We just kicked off, and we have our big press release on this coming Saturday, February 1st, about Donovan Park, which is this jewel within the neighborhood that the Heights Association actually bought in 1979 to keep a truck stop from coming into the neighborhood. That's how organized we were in 1979. And we have this community playground, and we're raising another $1 million. All $10 at a time over here to revamp Donovan Park. It's called Donovan Reimagined, and it's just a way to give back to the community because people love that park. And it's part of that sense of community that we talk about in that neighborhood. That's a privately owned by the Homeowners Association park for everyone, not just our members, but everyone in the city.
And Boulevard Realty has many distinctions. You're one of them, but also recently you told me about how you have like a special work area where people can drop in, get familiar with your company, but they can also just enjoy the Heights through your facility there.
You know, our industry is facing a lot of disruption, and there's a lot of changes. And in many of our firms, the EXPs of the world have no offices. They just communicate via Skyping and those sort of nature. I wanted to create, I'm doing the opposite. I'm building bigger offices. I'm creating environments where people want to come together and have a sense of community. Amongst ourselves as agents and brokers and staff members, but us with the community. So I created Your Space just kind of out of the WeWork thought of just a totally free 7-day-a-week place where people can come for free beer, free wine, free Wi-Fi, free conference room,
coffee?
free coffee, anything that you want. And every day there are dozens and dozens of different people that I do not know there. Our agents can use that spot also, but we meet people we would not otherwise meet. And then my new office and that space are available for your use at night, and they are probably booked of the 7 nights for the downstairs and upstairs, probably 10 times a week for all kinds of events, Leukemia Society, dress shows, fashion shows, moms clubs, churches, political organizations. And you know what we get? To meet people we would not otherwise have met. And they get to come into our shop and see how much we care about giving back to our communities. And so it's been a really good opportunity to share our firm, Boulevard Realty, with communities all across the city.
As we look ahead, 2020, I'm sure as a leader of your company, you've looked and thought, what's going to happen this year? How are we approaching it? And are there going to be any other things that you bring forth to the public? Maybe some surprises later down as the year unfolds?
Our industry in 2020 is about comfort and convenience. The white glove service or the concierge services are all about making the transaction as easy as possible. 2 years ago, we'd walk through a home and say, you need to do this, change your light bulbs, mulch your lawn, paint your porch. If you say that, you are going to be out of business in real estate in 2020. If you're not doing it for them, they're going to find someone else who will do it for them. It's about making it as easy as possible. And it is a difficult deal to sell and buy a home.
It's more work for the
But we have to make it as convenient and comfortable as possible, or we're going to become irrelevant as an industry. Technology is not going to replace us. People who work hard, who work smart, who work with ethics, who work with integrity are going to always be on the forefront of our industry. And I think keeping that at the forefront is really what's going to set people apart in 2020.
And if someone wants to reach out to you, Bill, what should they do? Bill Baldwin, Boulevard Realty.
Dial me up at 281-850-6862 or email me, bill@yourblvd.com, YOURBLVD.com.
And the number again is?
281-850-6862.
Oh, I'm sorry. Say it again.
281-850-6862.
One quick word. If we were to turn the clock ahead 25 years in the Heights, what's it going to look like? 2-3 words.
More of the same. I think you're going to more walkable,
flying cars,
more dense. I hope there are flying cars and self-driving cars. We have that little Neuro thing all over the community already. But it's just going to be about quality of life.
Thank you so much, Bill Baldwin. We're coming right back with more on Real Estate Matters with Stewart Title. I'm your host, Bill Nampick. Stay with us, please.
When it comes to real estate, everything matters. Whether you're a broker, realtor, homeowner, buyer, or seller, for informative and entertaining information when it comes to owning, buying, and selling real estate, tune in Sundays at 5 p.m. to Real Estate Matters with Stewart Title, brought to you by Stewart Insurance.
I say it all the time. Real Estate Matters with Stewart Title would not be possible without our partner, Stewart Insurance. With a focus in real estate and a special focus on real estate brokers, Stewart Insurance creates insurance plans to address the risks facing our industry today. In fact, they invest a significant amount of time helping real estate broker owners offset and manage their risks. And guess what? Today we have John Bramlett with Stewart Insurance, all smiles. John, welcome back.
Thanks, Captain. Glad to be here.
I mean, you guys do so much to help the industry and to stay ahead of what's going on, and especially when we're thinking about this cyber liability. Let's tell people, what do you want to tell us today?
Sure. This is a great time of the year to kind of think about your insurance as you begin 2020. And one of the things that we advise our clients and we offer to our clients, prospective clients, is that evaluation, to sit down and take a look at where your insurance is, what's changed in your business, because that could affect the insurance that you have or should have. Have you increased in revenue? Have you changed ownership? Have you added a significant amount of staff? Is there a potential claim that could be coming up that we need to be aware of? So whether that's with us or your insurance advisor, you need to have that conversation.
Indeed, when we think about insurance or any other important category of our life, as you itemize those, we have a checklist, and we should go down that checklist to make sure that we're properly insured.
Absolutely. The first thing is know what your expiration dates are, and then give yourself some time to have that conversation with your insurance advisor so that you're not having to make a decision at the last minute. Or better yet, work with your insurance advisor and have them set the reminder up. So they're calling you saying, hey, Bill, it's time to have that conversation. Let's sit down and talk about it. And then, the comments that I made earlier are the things you need to take a look at. What's changed in my business? And then ask some pretty hard questions. If my staff or myself were to make an error, we make a mistake in one of our professional services we provide, am I protected if I'm sued? What happens if there's a suit brought against me? Am I comfortable with that? If one of my agents is hacked and infiltrated by a cyber criminal, are we protected? If I'm hacked, if my firm, if my website or my email address has been infiltrated, what do I do? Am I protected? If one of my partners, that happens to them, am I protected? Those are the kind of questions that you need to ask yourself, or better yet, have that conversation with your insurance advisor.
And as you know, on this show, we have talked about it. It is a trend. We still hear about it right now as far as the upcoming year and decade. Right here in Houston, Texas, real estate brokers, the successful ones and individuals, are doing more transactions month, week after week, and week after week. Thus, when you use the term, if there's a mistake, just the sheer volume almost makes me think of when there's a mistake, because inevitably there's going to be a mishap of some sort that we do during the course of our work. So you must be properly insured.
Well, absolutely. I mean, if you think about what our guests have said today, that part of what makes them successful is the access that they provide to their clients and the service that they provide to their client, whether it be concierge or white glove. Blake mentioned the fact that he was with showings from 9 to 9 on Saturday. So when you're so busy, sometimes we inadvertently take shortcuts. And those shortcuts are what gets us in trouble. So we have hopefully processes and procedures in place on how we communicate with our clients and with our real estate partners, that we need to follow those. And if there is a change that comes about, that we don't just assume that email is correct, that we've taken the time to reach out using the original documentation papers for the phone numbers and make a phone call and say, hey, Bill, I got this change. Is this jive? Is this correct?
It's funny when you said, hey, Bill, there's 3 Bills in this room. By the way, people can't see that, but I just want to share that. That is right. And the other thing you said, John, that is super important, not just in our profession, but in our lives, systems and procedures. the more I incorporate that into what I do every day, it just is helpful to avoid mistakes and to also be aware of what I'm doing.
Absolutely. I mean,
and where I'm going from a goal standpoint.
Absolutely. There's so many studies that have shown that you actually free things up when you have processes and procedures in place, and that you know when something's going to happen and what you're focused on at that time. And you mentioned goals. A little bit about what we talked about last week was that idea of taking the SMART acronym and using that as a way to remind ourselves about ways that we can mitigate risk as a real estate professional. So the S being set procedures, the M being mandatory, make sure that those procedures are mandatory, that we're doing them every day. Area of expertise, the A, that we focus on our areas of expertise and let others that are experts in their areas speak about their subjects and their topics. R, record everything, write it down, document it, keep that. And then finally, T, the telephone. Use the telephone as a way to verify.
And John, how can people reach you at Stewart Insurance or any of the people that are there to help?
Absolutely. 866-798-2827. 866-798-2827.
You know I love that number.
866-798-2827. Stewart Insurance at Stewart.com.
And I do want to say this. When you mention systems and procedures and goals, there's a person that comes to mind, and his first name is Tom Carpentier, who leads Stewart Insurance, as we know, in a tremendous way, 24/7. Well, we're coming right back with even more on Real Estate Matters with Stewart Title. Yeah, that's StewartInsurance.com, right, John?
Yes, sir.
And here we are, the final segment of Real Estate Matters with Stewart Title. That's right, I am your host, Bill Nampick. I am here with two other Bills. Oh, yeah, and one of them is right here. He is former professional baseball player, and now he is the Executive VP of Amegy Bank. Bill, welcome back. Bill Dolly.
Thank you, Bill, again. I appreciate you for the invite, and I'm glad I was here.
It's super awesome. Let's tell people, before we close out the show, we're going to hear from everybody, but let's tell people, what else would you like them to know? And then let's remind them how they can reach out to your company, because you have a tremendous staff there ready to help people all over Houston and beyond.
Without a doubt, very successful. We're so proud. Everyone that joins our team is extremely professional, polished, very, very talented, and we're very proud of them. And we just love trying to provide exemplary customer service to our clients. And we do a good job. We're not perfect. We're not utopia, but we take pride in what we try to accomplish. We understand typically that's going to be the largest financial purchase they'll ever do is buy a home. And we love getting repeat customers.
There are many buildings that have business names on them. It strikes me that the Amegy Bank building is a super landmark, a spectacular building, I would imagine, to work there, but also we had a presentation there recently. It is just tremendous, and you get to go there all the time, and thousands of people drive by that. What's it like?
Love it. Walter Johnson, our founder, is the one that created that architecture of that deal. He went to Italy and got some product and everything. He built, talk about passion, he built it with his passion, and we're very proud of our new nest.
How long has that building been there? It is really incredible.
About a year and a half. We were just down the street in San Felipe, and we just, the rising of the leases did not make sense for us to renew it. Believe it or not, it made more sense to build the building than to renew our leases.
I want to say two quick things. One, I mentioned Tom Carpentier with Stewart Insurance. He is a huge baseball fan. You need to meet up with him at some point, but also as a pitcher, there you are. You mentioned having 60,000 people attend a game, and you're right there, center stage on the pitcher's mound. And not only that, the pitcher's mound is elevated. What's it like to stand on the mound?
Love it. Wish I could still do it. It was the highlight of my life, without a doubt. I have so many stories. I need to write a book, to be honest with you. I was to play with 7 different organizations. I could name the Nolan Ryans, the Steve Carltons of the world that I actually pitched with, Tom Seaver. I could go down the list, and if I start naming, I'd probably be leaving out some really neat people.
The thought process as you look at the batter, the catcher, I guess there's coaching from the manager and the coaches and all that, but what are some of the things that went through your mind when you look? The batter just got up, you're looking at the batter, and you have your own strategy. What are you thinking?
Tunnel vision.
Focused, eh?
Without a doubt. I knew exactly what this batter did the last time, or the last 2 times, the last 3 times did against me, good or bad. And I knew that. I remembered that. And I was not going to make the same mistake if I made a mistake prior to that deal. And it was between me and the catcher. I knew exactly what I wanted to try to accomplish, And most of the times I was lucky. I was fortunate.
And in real estate, we need to do our homework too, like that, right? And you do it.
Without a doubt, we make sure that we're looking at the real estate agents, the buyers, the builders. We do a lot of builder business, and you got to know your customer.
There you go. How can people reach you? Bill Dawley with Amity Bank.
It's you can email me at bill.dawley, D-A-W-L-E-Y, at amitybank.com, or you can call my office number, 281-297-7980.
Can I get a tour of the building sometime you're there next?
Absolutely.
And she is back. Thank you, Bill Dawley, Kiani Comazzi. Kiani, welcome back to the show. As we wind things up, let's tell people, what else would you like people to know about your company? We know you're going to have your broker's license soon, but what else as far as if they want to reach out to you?
I would like to add that, keep that in mind, it's not only about the real estate agent, it's about what kind of team that person has. And I have a great team. I have a lender, Puya, which is a phone call away from me. And I do have a great vendors that I can make sure all my closing goes smoothly, and on top of that, my clients get knowledge of real estate.
And in fact, you have a great team at Stewart Title there to help you.
Of course.
You know that. Christina Sacco helping people all the time. Kiani, let's tell people how they can reach out to you.
My phone number is 832-276-9935.
One more time.
832-276-9935.
And I don't think we got your number the first time, so one more time, please.
Sure. 832-276-9935. My website is kianirealestate.com.
And I want to tell people. Oh, go ahead.
Kiani, not Miami. Kiani.
Not Miami. In fact, and I want to tell people, you have a tremendous car to take people around to look at property, but also you have a yellow scooter.
Yes.
And on that note, here's Blake Plaster. Thank you, Kiani.
Thank you.
Blake, as we wind things up, what else would you like people to know about what you're doing there? And you're right there in the Amity Bank building, so you can go see Bill and his team.
Yeah, well, Bill, we have an amazing company at Martha Turner with great agents, staff, management, and I would just recommend anyone looking for a real estate agent to hire someone who specializes in the market that they're looking to move to and who is a full-time agent.
That is a good word. And, Blake, how can people reach out to you?
Sure. My cell is 713-297-1256. My email address is blake.plaster@sotheby'shomes.com, and my website is blakeplasterproperties.com.
Okay, so let's say they forgot the number. They remember the plaster part. They're going to find you.
They're going to find me.
No doubt about that. In fact, as you know, I'll tell people, not that they care, but in case they do, my son is named Blake.
I know. That's a really cool coincidence.
I know. So
Bill.
when I met you, I just felt real good. I said, hey, this guy's a great guy. One more time, the number is?
713-297-1256.
Thank you so much, Blake Plaster. And now, Mr. Heights, or the King of the Heights. We can call him so many accolades. Bill Baldwin, Boulevard Realty. Bill, you and I are going to wind up this thing right now. Let's tell people. What do you want them to know?
I don't know anything about baseball, but I challenge any of these fine people to come play ping pong at my new office over here, where we're very competitive over here at Boulevard Realty at our ping pong, which also serves as our conference room table. But I mean, come on over and let's take the ping pong challenge at Boulevard Realty.
All right, so
each and every one of you. Sense of community over there at Boulevard Realty.
I have a feeling you're pretty good at ping pong.
I am very good. I do not like to lose.
We're
very competitive in real estate and ping pong.
And Bill, how can people reach out to you?
YourBLVD.com is our website, or just give me a call, 281-850-6862.
The number again is?
281-850-6862.
And Bill, should people be sad that the show is ending at the time of broadcast?
No, because they can see it again, right?
They can see it again. And not only that, they could see and hear this show at Stewart.com/Houston. But not only this show, all 309 plus shows at Stewart.com/Houston. We have had a tremendous guests assembled here today. It's awesome. Please tune in to us next week at the same time right here on 950 KPRC. Real Estate Matters with Stewart Title. I am your host, Bill Nampick. And, oh, yeah, I mentioned Christina Sacco doing tremendous work as a business development officer at Stewart Title, helping us with guests every week. And whether you are in the Loop near our fine properties area, or if you're in the Woodlands, just stay close to your Stewart Title Business Development Officer. That is a great word because they are full of resources there to help you at any of our offices, not just in Houston, but far beyond. Stewart.com/Houston. Or if you're looking for your business development officer, go to Stewart.com. Check us out next week, Real Estate Matters with Stewart Title. Thank you to all our guests and to all the management of Stewart Title and Stewart Insurance. We'll see you next week. Bill Nampick. And until then, Real Estate Matters with Stewart Title. Thank you.